You can have tiger sharks, you can have silverhawks, but both pale in comparison to their inspiration. It's time for PopCon to do what the internet does best, cat videos. You're back in PopCon, a salute to all pop culture, but mostly the 80s. I'm Victor, and as your Generation 1 host, I was there, and I'm taking you back. Thanks for joining me for another show. I think most Gen Xers get a little smile on their face when they hear the name Lion-O calling out for his... And who can forget that rockin' theme song? It still kicks ass. But today, we're going to look at our favorite big cats with their strikingly and powerful feline facsimiles. We all remember what a fax is, right? Okay, even if the Thundercats cartoon, like every other 80s cartoon, was developed to mass market the toys already on the shelves to us latchkey kids, we saw it for something else. We saw the beautiful animated characters, the great stories that we fell in love with. So we know there was a lot of creativity involved, and we fell for that animation. But today I thought we'd take a look and compare our furry friends to their real-world Wild Kingdom counterparts. Stay to the end to hear my choice for the winner of Who Wore It Best, and hear the bonus material for other character comparisons. Alright, you ready? A jaguar is known for its speed and style. No, not that jaguar. This gorgeous and respected beast has spots, but nothing like its cheetah or leopard cousins. When it comes to Jaga, the Thundercat mentor and wisest of them all, besides some basic cat features, he has no markings, which I think was a big error, even if there are black jaguars. And he has distinctly pointed ears, a far cry from the very rounded basis of his name. As King of the Jungle, the iconic mane of the lion is easily shared by the Lord of the Thundercats. If it hadn't, there would have been some real missed opportunity. The face coloring of Lion-O also recalls that of this magnificent beast, but no ears to speak of, pointy or otherwise. The claw he wears is very lion-like. Just hope he didn't poach it from a real lion as a souvenir. The tiger is native of Asia, and those stripes and that stare are not just very recognizable, but similar in nature to Lion-O's older brother, Tigra. Now here we have some obvious tiger traits, and not simply in color and stripes, but as tigers and other big cats are the ghosts of the jungle, with their quiet and stealthy stalking unnoticed by prey, Tigra can also disappear and reappear elsewhere. So totally better than the cat. The Black Panther was the inspiration for the Thundercats' muscle, to be sure. The strong face is very apparent in Panthro, and makes sense as his namesake. He may not have the visage of a black cat, but we can tell where they were going with him. But black does not pop in animation, as we all know. Again, we have the sharp pointed ears, which is very rare in the cat world, but his muzzle is distinctly similar to his jungle counterpart. The cheetah, the lone big cat who is the fastest land mammal, was perfect choice for the first female feline Thundercat, and Chitara mimics not only the look with her coloring, the spots, and even an inkling in the eye style, but it is her trait of speed that tends to get everyone's attention and scream, "Cheetah!" She also was gifted with a sixth sense, which doesn't surprise me since, well, cats also seem to have this acute awareness from their senses that is as sharp as their claws. While the Thunderkittens are unique amongst the team and always depicted as childlike kittens, we can't imagine they'll grow up much more in strength or size. Representing smaller cats, they show off their prowess and cunning in mischievous ways. They battle stealthily and swing and climb from the trees to attack or spy. Unlike real cats, they seem to have no problem getting out of said tree. Their overall look is an amalgamation of various common cats. And then there's Snarf. Now, he's not a Thunderian, but he's still part of the team. He looks more like a furry lizard kitten, so I don't have anything to compare him much. He's just Snarf, and I couldn't leave him out. And he's adorable as he is annoying. Snarf, Snarf. Alright, so who's on your leaderboard so far? I don't have a clear winner yet, but let's continue with the 3 additional Thundercats that came around in the second season of the original series. This stoic cat has the sharp pointed ears that the Thundercats favor, and those unique fur shapes and growths unique to the lynx follow suit in another more mature Thundercat, Lynxo. Lynxo's design has facial hair in the form of long sideburns and the fur around the chin that seems a direct lift from this distinct cat. Lynxo's pointed ears now make sense, especially with the lynx's soft tufts at the end of his own. Lynxo was also blind. His power came from his sense of hearing that was even more heightened than most of his team, which is very true of big cats. Even his coloring is believable, if not exact. Standing out with the stripes like his golden brothers, the white Bengal tiger is just as powerful, but also very bright in contrast, blending into a specific surrounding. Bengali is certainly related to tiger, but as a powerful blacksmith, he doesn't share many traits with his wild inspiration. The uniqueness of the white tiger is carried over to Bengali, as he is the only Thundercat to wear his emblem off to the side and not in the center. The puma is soft and rounded with a gorgeous fur and a fat tail. Pumaira, the second female feline character, takes her cues from that fur of the big cat, and although gentle, still has the speed and the quick-footedness of her big cat counterpart. Depicted as a medic, I can only wonder if she would lick her patients to good health. Her markings on her face are not specifically cat, but all cat markings are different, so it works. Although the ears are once again wrong, the eyes are another story. Pumaira is the only Thundercat with round pupils, like humans, and honestly, just like big cats. The vertical slit pupils are saved for smaller cats and is beneficial for depth perception. But all large cats have round pupils, so Pumaira and the Thunder Kitten's eyes are better representation of the mammals their designs derive from. Well, I hope you're keeping track of who you think is the clear winner in Who Wore It Better. But before I give my winner, let's check out that bonus material, the inspiration behind some of our favorite villains. And even though Pumaira goes all bad guy in the reboot, during the original, there is only one cat that is in this bunch of baddies. Like his ancestral inspiration, the saber-toothed tiger, Groon the Destroyer once fought alongside the Thundercats on their homeworld. Now, as a mercenary, this snaggle saber-toothed loner is probably on his way to extinction himself. And this little guy, with his beautiful fur and very expressive face, he's the inspiration behind the mutant Monkeyan. Only sharing in some simian visual qualities, Monkeyan is a bumbling idiot, and we can't say the same for his primate pal. This small golden wild dog looks vicious and is completely convincing as the conniving and ruthless jackal man. Looks the part with his coloring and that toothy grin. His size and large snout only separate him from his little non-fictional brethren. Perhaps the 2011 reboot has a little more in common with the dangerous jackal of this Earth instead of Third Earth. The gangly scavenger with the frightening visage keeps his telltale look in the form of Vulture Man, our fourth mutant and villain to the Thundercats. More devious and clever than his fellow mutants, his bird look is perfect alongside the villainous Egyptian-like mummy, Mum-Ra. This is the leader of the mutants. Okay, well, it's a fat lizard, and it was the closest thing I could come to representing the best of the mutant characters. As a true mix of various beasts, the short, stout lizard man controls his minions with brute force and brutality. Honestly, if we were to compare this to anything, it would be Gollum. Yep, I said Gollum, but from the 1976 animated Lord of the Rings. As the same production company of that animated movie also produced the Thundercats, it's likely they didn't look too far for some inspiration and design for the commanding mutant Slithe. Now, you know I had to go here, and why not? There are tons of inspirations for this big baddie, as well as for his tomb fortress, the Black Pyramid. Where do we find the inspiration for the undead and the ever-living? The inspiration of Mum-Ra can be found in our Egyptian history, as well as our fictional horror stories. I can't leave out Mum-Ra, the undead, and even compare his transformation to the ever-living with a more modern take on the universally loved classic. Universally. Get it? Universal? The Mummy? All right, one more, and it's a big bonus. It's this guy. I cannot forget this little cutesy poopsy, perfectly represented as the great bulldog. Mamut is the constant companion of the undead Mum-Ra. Mamut could be the ever-living spirit of one of Earth's greatest creatures, the strong and proud bulldog, but just with some living dead qualities like burning, hellish eyes. But still man's best friend, even if that man is dead. All right, that's it. So who was your winner? Who do you think most represented their feline namesake? Well, I've got my clear winner. And on my total opinion, my winner, my choice, my opinion, you can have a different one. Please share with me in the comments who you think won, because the winner for me is Lynxo. That's right, Lynxo, the old man, the blind Thundercat. Yeah, he's awesome looking. I think with his coloring, his markings, and even the fur mostly around his face, and especially the shape of his ears is so close to the actual lynx because of those tufts of hair. And not to mention, because he's blind, he keeps his eyes closed a lot. So I can totally disregard the fact that they gave him slit eyes when all big cats have round eyes, right? Exactly. All right, so that's my clear winner with a lot of wonderful ones in between. So who was yours? Let me know in the comments. You know, with names like Linkso, Bengali, and Chitara, makes you wonder and kind of smirk about the naming conventions they used in cartoons of the 80s. Speaking of that, if you haven't seen one of my original shows about naming conventions of our favorite cartoon and action figure characters, check it out. Go look it up. It's a lot of fun and you might just learn something. I'm glad you joined me. Hope you thought it was really cool to see the real life counterparts. Thundercats in real life. Thanks for joining me. Come back soon. If you haven't hit that subscribe, come on. What are you waiting for? It doesn't hurt. All right. Until next time.